Well, good morning, everybody. And little buddy says hello. He's down here. He says hello. Good morning. Yeah, he says hello. Good morning. What we're going to do today is plant the squash seed, or that spaghetti squash that I cooked and I saved the seed from. And I didn't have another small pot, so it just so happened that I had used up all the butter in this crock pot or country crock butter container. I cut some holes in the very bottom of it in each corner for drainage. Now what I'm going to do is, well, I didn't bring any cardboard out here. No, go on. He wants to get right in your face every time I turn around. No. Nope. He's got to the place every time I open that door, he's jumping in it. What I'm going to do is just line the bottom. I took a paper towel, fold it in half. I'm just going to line the bottom of it. That's going to help with a little bit of water retention. And it'll also keep my dirt, my potting mix, from going out the bottom of it. And I'm just going to use straight potting mix with this, because I found with some of my others, they've been, well, I didn't bring a scoop out here either. When you got a little buddy here trying to help you, sometimes you forget what you're supposed to be doing. Let's see if I can pour some in there. It's kind of wet, so I may not be able to do it. And it doesn't really want to go where I want it to go, but and this is just all-purpose for in-ground use, but that's what I'm going to start my seeds in, because that's basically all I got right now. And I think it'll work just as good. I'm going to try not to get this on my hands because it's really wet. It rained on this bag of soil at the store before I bought it, so it got pretty wet. And I'm just going to take it over here and wet it down a little. I'm not going to water it on my... That's going to settle the dirt down in it just a tiny bit. And wash my hands off. And I can spray it. Don't want to spray my seeds. And again, this is my spaghetti squash. Since I didn't bring my garden trowel around here, I'm just going to use this to make 4 holes because I'm going to plant 4 seeds. Put 1 in each hole in the corners. And I wanted to make sure I had them at least a 1/2 inch under the dirt. And then just simply cover them. There, I don't have to water it anymore because I've already watered it. And I'm going to take you out here and show you where I'm going to put it. If I can get my camera working. I think I'm going to plant them right here where the cabbage is. I mean, the cabbage is still here. Get this tripod set up. Because remember, I told you on me. I had harvested the leaves, and that makes those worms go away when you cut the leaves. I mean, the stalk is still there. And I can even push that down in the pot. But I don't want the worms on it, so. But the worms will go away once you harvest your leaves, and then that may come back. Like the Brussels sprouts and the other stuff we harvest the seeds, the leaves off of. I'm going to dig down a little bit. And this is going to help that pot retain moisture as well as the paper towel. You see, those worms are gone now. That cabbage can come back out, but I'm going to leave that there till my seeds come up because it's out here in the sunshine. And then I can move my spaghetti squash anywhere I want it. But I'm leaving it right there for now. And we're supposed to get rain later today. Or hopefully. But that's my spaghetti squash planted in a buttercup. Or butter container. Look at all my moonflowers. But yeah, I'm leaving it there because it's out in the open sun. Because squash does better in the open sun. They'll germinate faster with the sun on them. So we'll see how many days it takes for my spaghetti squash to come up. But I've got sunflowers. And I've got my moonflowers all coming up. And they're looking good. They're looking real good. And my birds. If I get this steady. Oh, I was trying to put the tripod down and he got scared away. Well, my goodness, I hear my crows this morning. So maybe there's still some crows left around. And I'm hoping my road runners are still here too. But you hear the crows. I don't see him. He's up in the tree. But that's got me some spaghetti squash planted. I need to put a marker in there so I don't forget what I planted in there. And look at my I'll think of it in a minute, not Brussels sprouts. I always want to call it Brussels sprouts. Broccoli. I got 2 broccoli plants growing right here. And they're looking pretty good. As you can see, they're in partial shade. They're shaded in the morning and then they get a lot of the afternoon sun. And they seem to like it there, so I'm going to leave them. And I got a Swiss chard in one of the pots. And I got a yellow squash in that little round black pot there. It's not very big. I think it would like it better if it was out in the open sun. Probably need to move it. But I'm just going to wash my hands and get a little bit of the dirt off of my table that I built here. Wash my hands off. But it's just that easy to plant your squash seed, your spaghetti squash. And we'll keep monitoring it and seeing how long it takes it to come up. It shouldn't take it but a day or two out there in the sun. And I just stepped in that. Go ahead and take the bag of potty mix. I've only got a little bit left in there, probably enough to start a few more seeds later. I went ahead and stuck a couple of patty pan squash seeds around. And I said, well, you know, I might forget where I put the seed, but I'll remember when it starts putting out patty pan squash where it's at, so. But I also wanted to show you, I'm not going to get out here and do it this morning, but after I put that long metal blade on that edge trimmer, the cordless one, look what I come out here and cut. It cuts right through those little oak limbs that are trying to regrow out here. But I wanted to keep all this area cleared up to the property line. So I pretty much got it cut back to the property line. Because I don't know if you can see that little, if I can find it back there. There's a little blue flag back there. Well, right there. That's where my property line is. And you can see I cut the underbrush back to the flag. And then I came along all this part here and tried to cut it back to there. And then I need to go on down on the other side and cut that big one. And then I started cutting back here too, to free up all my space back here behind my totes and my buckets. So at least I can walk back here. I cut it yesterday until the battery died, and whoops, then I went in the house to cool off. Look how big this tomato, and that's a Roma tomato. And like I said, I'm not sure how tall it's going to get. It can get 5 foot tall, so that's the reason I got that tall stake there at it. But let me go get my little weed eater, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But this little weed eater, I had to go get it, put the battery in it. This little weed eater. See, I put the long, skinny metal blade in. And it does wrap around it, and you have to get it untangled once in a while, but it does cut the smaller limbs. this big one, it's some of the limbs have gotten too big on it. And that was a big old oak tree there that they cut because it was getting into the power lines. But, whew. Sweating, I can't see what I'm doing. It'll cut right through it just like a saw blade. But like I said, some of them are a little bit too big. But it'll get most of the little ones. Whew. It's hot, y'all. But see there? I mean, that's a pretty good sized limb right there. And it cuts right through it. Can't see what I'm showing you over here, really. these I'll have to cut with my trimmer. Not my trimmer, but my limb cutter, because they're too big for that little blade. But you can see how well that works. And then it was on sale, and you got the round blade, 2 of these metal blades, 4 plastic blades, 2 batteries, and the edge trimmer. And it was on sale for like $51 before tax. So I'm tickled to death over it. It does exactly what I wanted it to do. Cutting this bigger brush that my plastic cord trimmer would not cut. So, whew, I got to get in the shade to cool off. I tell you, as hot as it's getting now. Look at me sweating. It doesn't take much to sweat. So anything I do, I try to wait till it's a shaded area at least to get out here and do anything in it. But yeah, that oak tree was, the electric company come and cut it, trimmed it up, because it was getting up into the power lines. But I think I'm going to let it grow back so it'll provide a little bit of shade back here. But I'm going to keep all the rest of it cut down, if I can possibly keep it cut down. So, yeah, my garden is looking good. And since I put all that compost tea on it, I tried to water it yesterday real good. So if it did rain today, I didn't all that compost tea for fertilizer on everything, to where it would get a growth spurt, hopefully. And I'm thinking about moving that greenhouse right there, taking the plastic off, taking the tarp off, and moving it over to the garden area and put one of those shade cloths over it. I've got one already. And I can have stuff growing inside it because it'll be open. It'll be able to rain in there. It might help shade a little bit of my garden out there, not much, because I don't want it completely in the shade. I want it to get sun. But I think that'll keep it from burning up a lot of plants, I'm hoping. So I'm still thinking about it. We'll see. Because I think when I get the new greenhouse, I'm going to put it in the same spot this one's in. And I think it comes with a floor in it, some kind of a plastic floor, but I don't think I'm going to use the floor because I always kept wood chips in that one. I'm just going to, I prefer not to have a floor in it because it would just have water puddling in it. I'll have to wait till I get it to see. But I think I'd rather have the wood chips so I could water my seedlings or whatever I got growing inside. And the water just go through the wood chips into the ground instead of having a plastic floor in it. But like I said, we'll see. I haven't decided. I haven't gotten it yet, so. But yeah, everything looks good. I mean, my cucumbers are going crazy climbing the trellis since I put that there. Yep. I don't think it'll come toppling down, because I don't think the cucumber vine will get that heavy. So we'll see. And if I need to, I can put some kind of brace on the back side to help support it. put a wire leader to it, stake it in the ground back there between the rocks, and give it a little bit of support if I think I need to. But my pumpkin, look at the pumpkin. That pumpkin vine, the natural way for it to grow is to go up. And it's trying its best to go up too. Right along with this honeydew melon, or early dew melon. But I don't want melons growing up on the vine. I want them on the ground. So I'm hoping it'll turn and go back down. But it's determined it's going to go up. So I don't know. If it ever latches onto that cucumber vine, it's going to go up. And the melon vine in here is determined to go up the tomato plant. I don't want it to do that. Yeah, I put a tomato plant in there, and that'll act like a stake to my melon vine, because my melon will end up wanting to climb up that tomato plant. Oh well. Be interesting to see how it turns out. Be interesting to see. I even thought about going fishing, but it's already too hot in the morning to go fishing. Unless you can get in the shade, and there's no shade out there fishing till late in the afternoon, so I may wait till later on this afternoon and go fishing and get me some fish to put in my compost tea buckets, if nothing else. So, just wanted to get on here for a few minutes, let you know what I'm doing today. And I'm probably going to be in there cleaning up my house a little bit. I need to vacuum, I need to mop the floor, dust a little bit, and then I might go fishing later. And if I do, I'll video it. So, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Y'all have a blessed day. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos. And I will see you later on today, hopefully.